All right. Well, I'm on there, I think.
You think? Oh, Lord. Go back to
I mean, can you tell me?
I swear to God.
All right, so anyway, this is my, what, 14th day trying to get my daughter into a facility, which her resources, well, the ones that are pulling for and actually really coming together, are getting stuck because her home counseling is supposed to be putting referrals in and have messed up pretty bad. And when I've asked not to have this certain case manager sending out referrals, she keeps sending them out, which gets my daughter denied a bed. So she's been in an acute program waiting, and her behavior is getting worse. And I think I've become a case manager in 2 weeks. I've gotten every file and every diagnosis on her, which she's got like 20 of them. I don't know why that is. Any clinician can put a diagnosis. It should be a psychologist. So she's supposed to be getting out. They've held her as long as she could. They don't think she's a danger to herself, except for the last time I IVC'd her, which is involuntary committed her. I had to jump out of a moving car to get her from going into these two people that had pulled over near Shipyard McDonald's as she was walking. Adult men. And she would have gotten in with no hesitation whatsoever because she doesn't know the consequences. So now we've been working for 2 weeks, and supposedly there's been beds opened and we were getting on the wait list, but because of what that case manager was putting in and not the correct information or diagnosis or anything like that, we ended up just losing beds. So now they're going to discharge her tomorrow. She's going to come home, and my fear is that she just snaps and she hears something that she doesn't want to hear, and she runs out the house or wherever she is, and she's off. She don't want to come back, but she's not thinking clearly. Plus she has the mind of a 10-year-old. And so I've been asking them to hold her until I can find her a therapeutical locked facility, so she can get the help that she needs. We've been trying to do this since she was 4 years old, and her mental health has just been deteriorating and deteriorating. It turned into suicidal ideations and plans, and especially after her brother committed suicide in 2019. And so since that was back in 2019, 2020, and in April, I IVC'd her for behavioral issues, running away. And the doctor, well, she was supposed to get a bed and had waited 4 days to get a bed, and she was going to Carolina Dunes. And the psychiatrist came in and wrote her as behavioral and didn't need to be there. So I put up a file. I mean, I tried to get somebody that day before they discharged her so I could get maybe something overturned, because I felt she was a safety to her, a danger to herself. And the doctor, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I called the hospital, I called the patient advocate, I called all the admins. I can list names for you, but not right now. Nobody answered. So 4 times later, or 3 times later, and the 5th time, when she almost got in that car, I had to threaten the doctor that I've looked at all the discharge paperwork that you've done on my daughter, because she would run away and I would IVC her to try to get her further help, and he would let her out the next day. It's behavioral, it's not mental health. It's not going to keep her there, and she's fine. And that's not true. If she was defiant, I would be able to not control her, but I'd be able to handle it. But it's when she takes off and runs away and doesn't have a clue on what she's doing, that she's going to end up sex trafficked here in Wilmington. If she had gotten in that car that day, I would never see her again. So I told the doctor if he let her out this time, I was going to be up there with the news because I have her 4 discharge summaries and they all are the same. So for every visit, he has just copied and pasted the discharge summary and let her out on behavioral again. And I did find out that that is the doctor's choice. So if he decided, he was just not happy with me that I was calling all around on that first time that he let her out, I guess. I did put in a formal complaint to PAL or the patient advocate on that whole day. All right, anyway, so now we're going down because she's supposed to be discharged tomorrow with no placement because the place I was going to take her and had a bed called us last night and told us because of one of the things that was written on the thing was sexual aggression. And that is not the case. It was supposed to be off of there. They said that she got suspended for school for it, and that actually didn't happen. I pulled her out of school and Rolling Rice and put her back into J.C. Rowe, where she attended after her cry for help in 2020 for suicidal ideations. They made her go to an alternative school. And then when she went back to Rolling Rice after she completed the alternative school and got really good grades, she went back to school and was totally out of whack with the regular school, and they were not giving her the supervision she needed. So I pulled her out, put her in J.C. Rowe, and then got her further help into Lake Forest, which is a therapeutical alternative school. They're amazing. No, go straight. So where was I going from there? Oh, so anyway, hopefully, the counseling service has called up to the Carolina Dunes to make things right on their behalf of their employee. And where am I going? So now I am going down to the courthouse. Probably not going to be able to do anything about it, but I got to try because this is my daughter's life we're talking about. I am going down to the magistrate's office to see if there's any kind of IBC paperwork I can put out so they can't let her out of the holding area out in Gardner at the acute program, and maybe hold her until, again, I can find a bed and somebody can be doing the referrals that's correct and correct diagnosis, instead of sending all these companies, the bad ones, and getting denied. So that's my plan. I don't think it's going to work. I did try to look up some things about IBCs. I'm not sure that it's going to work, but I hope it does, because I think if she comes back out here, I'm going to have to IBC her again, and she's going to have to go through that process, and this is not therapeutical. Her behavior has gotten worse. She's gotten violent. She was never violent before. Maybe sarcastic. You're going to take a left at there. Maybe very sarcastic and mouthy, but never violent. So now these are new behaviors coming up. She's a good kid, man, and we need to, I need to do the very best I can for her, and I'm not going to let this one go. She's been just looked over and swept under the rug. I've been going to counseling since she was 4 years old, and now since April of this year, I've been trying to get her into a therapeutical home, and she's not worse. She's not bad enough. What are you talking about? What does she need to do? She's gotten handcuffed, not arrested. They won't arrest her. She got caught when was it? God, I can't remember the dates now. The end of June, after she ran away and I called the police, she got caught up at the gas station, which that's the farthest she had gone ever, which is only not even a mile up the road, and got caught with weed. She didn't even smoke. She didn't smoke. We drug tested her 3 times. Well, her IBC did, and it was negative every time. So I just need to get some help from my daughter, and if anybody sees this and has suggestions on what I can do, please let me know. I've got her school helping me. I went down and put an undisciplined child on her, and very helpful. Very helpful, I mean, unbelievable. Well, it's like a probation counselor who was amazing. Thank God for them helping me, because I don't know where I'd be. The main source that was supposed to help me has not. The director has not. And I'm so that's why I'm going live, because I hate being on camera too. Because I'm just at my wit's end. These kids are getting slipped through the cracks, and they end up delinquents and in jail. If I have that one chance of getting her this help before it's too late, then we're going to do everything we can. What?
Go straight.
I usually go down. All right, well, I'm going into the courthouse, so let's see what happens.
Third Street.